Yo.
Hello. Wow. Okay. Okay.
I'm
Next.
having a great day, sir. How are you?
I am well. I am well. I just went snowboarding yesterday for the first time.
Oh, how was that?
It was it was great. The snowboarding, I fell a lot. I learned a lot. Um, Fucked up my wrist, thumb, my ass cheeks, and my back. But if it was a lot of fun. We did a road trip, me, Mila, and Luna.
Oh,
A road trip
family
about an
trip.
hour and a half. Yeah, family. We did a family road trip.
Aw.
It was a ski resort, and we went skiing and snowboarding, and it
Aw.
was it was really beautiful. And the whole time I'm projecting towards Mila because I'm like, "You really wanted this, huh? You really wanted a family trip, huh? It's great. You wanted a family."
While the whole time, little Orlando, your inner child, is being cuddled, rubbed, and feeling alive by experiencing this.
It's facts. I'm in the driver's seat, like,
I'm so
this is
excited.
great. First family road trip.
I love that for you, man.
Yeah, yeah. It's been an adjustment in this space. Doing things like that feels great as a family, as all of us as a collective.
Mm-hmm.
Just because like the stepdaddy title, I feel is like an uncomfortable title to have because
I like
it's
that.
just based on what you do.
Okay.
It's not based on like who you are as a father. So while we're here,
Mhm.
there's just been like moments where me being brought up as a stepdad has been slightly, I guess, irritating or aggravating in a sense, and it's or annoying. Slightly annoying would be the more accurate word because
The title itself, or something else.
how the title is viewed.
Okay. By who?
Generally people. All right, I'm gonna explain why. We were in the car and Luna's a child or whatever, so she was talking to one of her friends, and they were just talking about like how they want boyfriends or they don't really understand like the reason why, but they're fucking talking about why they want boyfriends in the car with me and Mila, right? And so we're having a very innocent conversation. We're like, well, why do you want boyfriends? And they're like, so they can do stuff for us. And they were like, what do you think boyfriends do? And they were like, yeah, like a stepdad, like Orlando. And I'm just like, okay. I'm at this point, it's like very innocent. So we laugh and chuckle it off or whatever. And then another moment, I was having a conversation with Erica, and we were just chatting and talking about apparel and stuff like that, and stepdad apparel, and like the conversation just came up about, you know, what a stepdad does, right? And it's just like, it's great because, you know, you pick up the child and bring the child over here, you cook for the child, you do all these like tangible things, these things that can be seen, but there's more than that. So like there was this moment where me and Luna have been watching Abbott Elementary, and she called me after her dance class to tell me that one of the kids from Abbott Elementary is in her dance class, right? And how cool it was and how she felt about it. She was talking to me about dance and stuff like that. And I just felt like those things don't get highlighted under the grand like viewing of like being a stepdad. It's more so about what did you do? What tangible things have you done to help this child out? Not what kind of conversations you have. How are y'all with talking to each other, just chilling together? What kind of like special moments do you have with each other? It's not about that. It's about what can you do for me and my child. And that's a very harsh way of like putting it, but I feel like it's the view when it comes to the stepdad. It's either do something for the child tangible, and that's where your worth lays, or that's what we highlight. Not you being there for. That's what her dad is for. Dad is to be like the man of life, and you're just here to like do stuff for her when needed. So, I feel like that's what that's what goes with the title of stepdad, and that's what's made it uncomfortable for a while.
Have you voiced that?
Yes.
How was it received?
Let me think. It wasn't received bad. It didn't come across as receptive, I guess, as I would have liked, because the understanding part wasn't there, because it's all really only my point of view. But yeah, I think the understanding part of it wasn't there at first, but I think it's better understood now of like why I feel that way. And I understand that, you know, it just depends on the context, right? Because Luna's a child, so she can only understand so much, and that's her understanding of like love and things like that. Mila's friends and stuff like that only see me in like in a certain capacity.
The tangible things.
Huh?
The tangible things.
Yeah. So, but when people are going to see only tangible things, I know the difference. People that are close and live in the house know the difference. But when it's mentioned over and over and only in a certain way, it's like, well, that title doesn't sound fun. If y'all had if people, I feel like if people had a better viewpoint on it, then I could be more comfortable with it. But because it just doesn't feel like it
doesn't capture what your relationship with her. It doesn't capture the way you care and love her and what you guys share.
Yeah, and I in my personal opinion feel like that's what I see, or that's what I feel when it comes to like the stepdad role. It's, we need somebody to come in here and help me with this kid. And it's just like, well, I mean, there's what? Just want somebody to just come and help. Nobody wants to do that. There isn't anybody that like aspires to go, I want to enter a relationship taking care of a partner and a child. We love people and we're willing to accept that, but I don't think that's anybody's like main goal when they wake up in the morning or when they start their life. So when this is a situation that we're all presented with, and I'm entering it happily, but there's no, in my opinion, like really positive reinforcement for that role in a sense of like how it's spoken about, then no, it's not comfortable.
Okay. So I am a father myself, right? And now I'm repeating the terms. I'm a father, or I'm a stepfather. I can see why you feel that way, because when you say stepfather, there's usually a connotation or a discredit of what your experiences are with that child, where it's more task-based, right? As opposed to a father where it's more intricate. It's more built into the child's life.
Yeah, and when things like when that is known, and then like certain things are being said, or like the way things are reacting, like say for instance is a good one. Mila was going to Luna's winter recital, right? Kids be singing and shit. So she's going to this winter recital and she's like, hey, Luna has a recital today, like if you want to come, you can. What I said to her was, it's so good, because if I was her dad, you wouldn't go, oh, you can come if you want to.
Yeah.
your reaction would be so different. So how do I now feel integrated in this system or in this family if this is the reaction? And so it's little things like that that like tack on, and it's not one thing for me. It's like when it tacks on, and then I now have like this history of like words being said, and it's like, oh, this is how y'all view this position. This is how you view this person that's come into your life, and this is not just you. And I feel like Luna is imitating or repeating. She's repeating or imitating like what she's seeing, right? So if the adults in the situation are treating this position like it's only task based or tangible based, then the child is going to repeat it as that, or repeat it as this is what this person is for. And so something like, oh, inviting me to her recital, or saying like, hey, our daughter has a recital, we gotta go on this day, are two different ways to present something. And when you present it the way of just saying like, oh, you know, you can come,
it's
if
an
you
option
want,
versus a requirement.
Right. And then you do that over and over for a bunch of little things. And yeah, it starts tacking on. People start noticing, people start speaking in a certain specific way. And I'm not saying doing anything for Luna is a bad thing. I'm just saying the title and the requirements of a stepdad aren't spoken in a way that makes it appealing.
Yeah. Yeah. Why do you think she approached it like that? Why from your perspective, what was that language used?
I think that just nobody knows how to maneuver in this situation.
Come on, that's true. I get that, but also, what other ways could you view it from her perspective, right? Because without you being the biological father, you are not indebted to show up for Luna, right? It's a choice, it's a decision, right? You're not required to some degree, which is why when it's presented as an option.
Yeah.
Do you agree with that?
Yeah.
Do you also think that she may not want to force you to do things that you may not be interested in, because you don't have to?
I think she just, yes, and I also think she doesn't want to force it because she doesn't want to feel
rejected,
like she's pushing it. In essence, pushing me away.
Yeah,
I think that's fear. I think that's a fear of women and mothers. Like, if I got to keep my child's thing, so I got to keep my child happy, but how do I keep this man happy too? What can I do? Let me not do too much, because I know I feel like mothers feel like they have a child and this is already a lot, and they feel like the child's already a lot and what they got to do, so they don't want their child to be a lot to somebody else. Right. Or they don't want their child to be a burden to somebody else.
That's the key word that I wanted to use. I don't want to burden you by telling you that you got to show up for my child, right? Even though we're considering it our child, but at the end of the day, it's still my child. If you were to walk away, it's just me and that child. Right. But also, what I've learned from you about who you are is that when you're embedded into something, you're fully embedded in. And to you, it's never been an option. It's just, this is my child as well. I've worked on that relationship, and I show up for her however is needed. And I would like for me to be treated as such.
Exactly.
Did you tell her this?
Yes.
Hey, it's not whether or not if I want to. I have to, because that's my daughter too.
Exactly. And when things like that happen, it creates a separation. You become the middle person. So we're not all together. It's you and her, me, or you, me, and then you, me, and then her on the other side. Like, you're in between. It's like we're gonna do this, we should do this all together. So that's why like this family snowboarding trip or skiing, family winter sports trip was like so much fun and so great that we could do things together. And it feels great. It's just the conversation around how a stepdad is spoken about is just never comfortable. And I think this is just something that a lot of people like you
never thought of it that way. You're so correct.
Yeah, and it's not even, let's say a child wasn't even there, like just speaking about a partner before, but with like the sense of what can this person do for me. Like nobody wants to pick up like that task. I don't feel like anybody wants to go into a relationship feeling like this is about to be a task. This is about to be work. We know that's the underlying thing already, but we want to enjoy the work that we're doing. But if I'm coming into it and I feel like with a child, there's so much more, right? We can grow, we can mature this person, we can see her develop, we can see her personality, we can see how smart she's going to become and all of these things. But on the other end, it's, can you take her to school? Can you pick her up? Can you watch her for me? It's like, yeah, all of those things are cool. And all those things, yes, I can do, but there's a whole nother dynamic that we're missing here and that we're not even vocally like acknowledging.
True. But at the same time, shouldn't mothers pay attention to whether or not the men that they are dating and the men that they're in relationship with are willing to be a father to their child?
Yeah, they should.
Right. So hence why they tend to kind of gauge like this, having a child is a lot of work. Are you willing to assist? Right. Are you willing to take on some tasks? But what you're saying is to look beyond what they can do in terms of performance or task level, but more about how is it that they care for that child? How is it that they nourish their relationship with that child? Because that's far more important than dropping up and picking up and cooking and providing. Right? It's making that child feel that this is a family and they belong here as well. And mom is not choosing one or the other. It's a safe space for that child as well.
It's like everybody goes, I need a man around to help me
raise this boy.
Raise his kids.
A man to teach him how to be a man.
Nobody's going, I need a man around so that my child can have two parents to hug. Like, it's a whole different dynamic. It's always about the tangible things. So it's about what can you do for me?
Versus I need a partner that can foster a home for our child.
Yeah, it's like how
partners we could foster peace, love, appreciation, and safety for the family.
Right. It's like everybody needs help. Nobody needs happiness. What happens? Nobody asks for happiness more. Like, hey, I need a man in my life so this family could be happy. This family could be
happier.
Happier, yeah. It's just too much. It's too much like what you can do for me, and it's become so bold that everybody is like saying it out loud now.
Yeah,
it's not even a matter of, yeah, you know, you're gonna be the stepdad. I got a kid. You're gonna do some things. It's, oh, you're gonna be a stepdad. You're gonna watch my child.
Are you gonna?
I need you to watch. Right. It's like, I'm not a like professional babysitter, and I'm not saying that I've ever been put in that position to feel like one. I'm just saying that the conversations around having a partner come into your life, you and your kid's life, is just never positive when it's not the biological. Gotcha. And this is just opinion based.
Okay. So do you think that we should get rid of the title stepfather, stepdad?
I think that we should have better conversations around it.
Okay. So what conversations are you having now around that title?
Just it being all of us being included as one.
Mm-hmm.
That's mostly been it. And yeah, just the feeling of oneness between all of us. Not that somebody has like stepped in.
Okay. Does the last name kind of reflect that? The lack of oneness?
No.
Not to you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What conversation do you plan on curating with others that frequent you guys around that?
What conversations am I willing to have with others?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think there's necessarily, I don't know if there's necessarily any conversations I have with others about my family. Okay. I just, what we do will reflect.
There you go.
Yeah, so what we do and how we act and how we maneuver together will reflect that. So if people are just seeing, Luna come around and she's just asking me for stuff and I'm just reacting to that, that's one thing. But when people see like us, I don't know, reading together, watching shows together, just me and her hanging out alone, then that's what will reflect and show. But if you don't see me at the recitals, you don't see us like doing things together, and you don't see me incorporating, as one, just joking around and having fun together.
Yeah.
If you don't see those things and you just view and see me pick her up, put her down, bring her places, get her food, then it's just like, this is his task, and it's not even going to be questioned, because if I were to just be doing those things where I would just be like running around doing tasks for her, nobody's going to go, well, are y'all like joking around and playing together, right? Do y'all have like one-on-one time? Do y'all right? Nobody's going to ask that, because as their father, oh, this is what you're supposed to be doing. Yeah, you're supposed to be taking around and doing all those things. But I feel like as a father, it's well, you can't just pick her up and put her down. You can't just babysit her. You got to do more.
Yeah.
See, but as me in this position, it's not really expected, and it's not that I'm not expected to do more. I don't feel like I'm expected to do all those other things. That's not looked as task based, and I feel like that is the uncomfortable situation of the step parent. That the conversation is only looked at as task based.
Yeah, because in a lot of times we don't really get to witness the relationship, right?
Yeah,
we tend to witness the task. Nice. How have you enjoyed being a daddy?
It's been great.
Yeah.
No, it's been mad fun. I've been prepared to have a child. I didn't want a child yet, but I prepared myself.
Pause. Preparation has been the common theme in your life. You've been prepared for Miller. You've been prepared for podcasting. Now you've been prepared to be a father. You've been preparing your whole life.
Yeah.
So tell me more on how you've prepared yourself to be a top tier father.
This is not a like long drawn out thing. I literally just put in my head that I'm getting into an age where more people are having kids, and that if I were to have a kid tomorrow, that I would mentally be prepared to have that child and be ready to take on that responsibility.
Was it a learning curve for you?
As in
to being a father to Luna?
As in, like, I had to learn faster.
Did you have to learn on how to be a father, on how to show up as a parental figure, on how to move from being a friend to some degree to now a father?
Yeah, but
How-
three things play a part in that.
Okay.
I've had friends with kids already, and I pay attention to them.
Mhm.
Right. That's one part of the preparation. Two, is the actual experience of doing it, right? So being here and doing things with her and learning on the fly. And then three is wanting to do it. Putting myself and my mental space in a position of wanting to be a dad, viewing myself. And on top of that, I'm already a big kid myself. So I can play both parts where I can have mature conversation. I can have mature conversations. I can give direction to a child, but also I can understand why a child is acting the way they're acting at the time, because I have a big kid mentality. So it's like I can take a second and be like, you know what, you shouldn't be fucking eating chips right now, but go ahead, have a few.
I am picturing you and Luna just running around and causing a ruckus, and Miller looking at the both of you and be like, what the fuck did I get myself into?
Exactly. We would both put on onesies and pick up the Nerf guns and be shooting at each other. And Miller's just sitting on the couch like, what the fuck? You guys are very loud. And I'm like, you don't, mommy doesn't like fun. But eventually Mila like indulges and she loves this shit. And then after it's done, I was like, you love it. We're annoying, aren't you? We're annoying, aren't you? But you love this shit. So it's been
That's adorable.
Yeah, we're fucking cool.
What has been your biggest misstep in this new role?
You know I don't miss that, man. Come on.
Oh, come on.
My biggest misstep.
Let me rephrase it. Not misstep. What has been the biggest lesson you had to learn, or you had to adapt to?
You can't be petty to kids.
You can't be petty to kids.
No.
Woo! Say more.
It never works out for anybody. Just can't be petty to kids. I've realized that children have like a reset.
Okay.
Clock of like annoyance. So I can go to bed, wake up, still be mad at Mila, right? Luna would have a whole tantrum, go to sleep and wake up and be perfectly fine.
Yep.
Be happy and cheerful. It's just like, where was that attitude from last night? Where was all that energy? And I was like, she's not waking up with this like this hurt on her heart, this upset. She's not waking up with like all of that. So being petty towards a child, one, isn't going to be helpful anyway, because that shit isn't going to sit. And you know when you be petty and somebody's not upset, how upsetting that is.
Oh yes.
So imagine being petty towards a child and shit don't even work, or it works momentarily and the shit just doesn't last. So it's like it's a waste of time being petty. One, two, you shouldn't really be petty to a child anyway, because we just know why. But I've found that being childish and being petty isn't supportive to the relationship. So I can't just go, oh, you don't want to do this? Well, then I'm just not going to do this for you either. Presenting me like that and being child petty like that isn't helpful for anybody, because it just makes them resent you more, because they don't fully understand the necessarily why with their with what they're doing and why it could be consequential.
Yes.
Me being petty towards that without them having fully understanding that, and on top of that, them being able to let that shit go easier, it just isn't beneficial to being petty. So, and
it's also a removal of love. Just asking themselves like, why are you not loving me in this moment?
Yeah.
And they don't. Can you say no to her?
Ugh.
me rephrase. Do you struggle saying no to her?
Ugh.
Such a dad's girl.
But I don't want to say no. I say, ask your mom.
I do the same. You better answer her and tell her no. My daughter would skip my wife and come directly to me because she knows more than likely I'm not going to say no. She'll even say, "Where's my dad? I want to ask him a question. I'm not asking you. I want to ask daddy."
Yep.
I will say yes.
And there's times where I even say no, and I'll be like, you know what? She'll be like, ask for my phone. She's like, "Can I have your phone and watch TikTok?" And I'm like, "No, you be on the screen too much." Matter of fact, here. So, yeah, and it's like little things. It's little things like that. But maybe I'm reaching for being viewed in a specific space. Maybe that's a reach for me and what I want badly on how people have viewed me and me in this space and this responsible caretaker. And I'm putting that pressure on myself.
Well, I do think that you are right that the stigma around stepfather is not fair. It definitely does not highlight everything it is that they do. And I do think by you labeling that and by you making that part of the conversation, the expectations are going to switch and the engagement is also going to be different. So now when the next recital is, you will not be asked whether or not you want to attend. It will be you are expected to attend. Right. So it's going to take some time and it's a learning curve because you guys are blending. Right. It doesn't happen quickly. It takes time. But I applaud you for being strong enough and being aware enough to label that and make that part of the conversation. Now, how has Luna helped you heal? How has she contributed to your healing?
I can do for her. You asked me this before. I remember now. I can do for her things that I wasn't able to do for myself as a kid. Mm-hmm. So when we do things together, I view myself as myself doing it, and then I also view myself as like from her position.
Yeah. Your younger self.
My younger self. Yeah. So I do have some projection of my younger self and wanting to do these things. I remember as a kid, I wanted to snowboard. I wanted to skateboard, on all these. I wanted to fish, and not having partially not having parents that like. Well, no, that's not even true because my dad could afford it. So not having parents that wanting to indulge in doing these things with me. So not having them want to do that didn't feel great. And so now that I can do it as an adult, it feels great.
Yeah. What are three other things this summer that you'd like to accomplish as a family?
Vacation again. It's the first time I'm going to finish a full school year.
Oh.
And want to, I don't know, as a family, yeah, I think those are the two things for right now. I can't really think of a third, but definitely a vacation again and finishing the school year. And maybe even a long, we did talk about this before, like since me and Mila did a 30-day vacation together, like doing a month family trip together.
Orlando, I don't know any father that would want to spend 30 days on vacation with their child.
Right?
2 months. I mean, 2 weeks, sure. Then I get to hang out with my wife for 2 weeks without my child. I don't know if I want them around for the whole 30 days, brother.
Maybe it's because I'm new here.
No,
But-
I have younger kids, so that might be the difference. But oh my god,
It's so funny because me and Mila has spoken about how if we could, because she loves kids when they're like babies and like little babies, and I love kids when they start speaking, right? So we came up with this agreement that if we could, once she has a new baby, she would take care of that baby by herself for the first 4 years, right? And I can go do whatever I want in the world, right? And then once they turn like their 5th birthday, I would take over. And from the age 5 to like the age 11, 12, I would just be the sole father, and she can do whatever she wants with her life, not have to be in the family. And then at age 13, we come back together, and we raise this beautiful child together for the teenage year. Because teenage years is way too much for one person. So we come back.
Better idea.
It's a perfect idea.
I have a better idea. Y'all come here and live here. My wife, we go and be parents to Luna while y'all get a 15-month-old that's perfect for Mila, and a 3-year-old, which is perfect for you.
Perfect.
Y'all wouldn't last a week.
There's only one way to find out. Do family swap.
As a father and building that relationship with Luna and entering that new space, has there been anything that has led to you crying? Not of sadness, but of joy.
Dinners every day. Together, family dinner, sitting down and eating together.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Those tend to get very emotional for you.
It did at one point. There was one moment where I cried one time. Then I had to take a step away. I had to take a step away from the table and just control my emotions.
Yeah. It's a beautiful thing, huh?
Yeah.
How children can be part of our healing, the vehicles to healing. I took my daughter to the aquarium last week, my first time ever in the aquarium, and just seeing how excited she was about seeing fishes. Daddy, it's a fish. Daddy, it's a shark. Can we take it home? Like, bro, I froze up. I was like, here, just rubbing my eye, but I'm wiping off my tears because those are the things that I've never had to experience, but always wanted to. And to some degree, I felt my younger self experiencing it. I ended up buying anything and everything they wanted, man. I paid $12 for a hot dog.
Yo, yesterday we went to a Mexican restaurant after all that snowboarding, pulled our bellies. Still found 25 cents to give Luna so she can have a fucking gum from the gumball machine. This is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Crazy. I just like her having a good connection to a step parent, because I remember the first time I met my stepmom.
Mm-hmm.
I had to be 5 years old. My dad took me, my brother, and my stepmom to the aquarium. And we came back from I believe it was the aquarium. We came back from the aquarium, went to my dad's house, and the whole day, this is the first time I'm meeting her at 5 years old, and the whole day she didn't say anything to me. She would give me like snarling looks.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say anything to me. And then we went back to my brother's house in Canarsie. And I don't know shit. I don't really know like what's happening. I'm just fucking 5-year-old. And we get back to that house and she starts going off. She starts yelling about how she doesn't want me in her home. She doesn't want me in her house. I need to get out of her house. He needs to get me out of there. Why am I in her home? Oh, I was just 5 years old. And I'm just watching this lady like spaz out.
Mm-hmm.
All getting the fuck out over this 5-year-old boy. in her home. But also, I was a bastard child for my dad. So my dad was married to her, and then still had me first, and then had my little brother right after.
Yeah.
So yeah, she was in there. She was in there bugging out, and that was the first time I've ever seen someone have like not a traumatic experience, really. Whatever, but yeah, she basically she had a moment.
She didn't do her work prior to seeing you, and you were a reminder of what he did and his infidelity, and she wanted you out.
I think that was also like the first time I can remember like being shocked by something, like as a child, and I never forgot that. I literally never forgot that. I remember that being my very first like shocking moment, and this woman just yelling and barking at me, saying, "Get out her house." Strong Christian, faithful woman also, but she was like, "I need to get out her house. She don't know why I'm there." And that shit always just sat with me, and I've literally never forgotten it. And I've always not only have I never forgotten it, I've always remembered it as one of my first experiences with her.
Yeah, and fidelity tends to be one of the most traumatic experiences for one's life. Right. You tend to experience PTSD for up to 5 years. They even compare infidelity with being at war. Like these type of individuals tend to show the same symptoms. So it makes sense why her outburst would occur. But what I'm trying to understand is, was she aware that you were coming to the aquarium as well? And if that was the case, then she agreed to it. And do you really want to behave in that manner to a 5-year-old boy? But at the same time, you're triggered, you're emotional, you're etc. Outburst happens. Were you and her ever able to build a relationship?
No.
Never.
She had an outburst like that when I was 15, 16 years old. She had a bus like that when I was a teenager. She's always been like that my whole life. Every time I'm around, she's giving me like these like snarling looks. Like we've never had like a good relationship. But the shit I gotta tell you that she told me in one of these moments, we'll talk about that for another time. My stepmother's a whole nother trip.
It's just the female figures in your life really did the number on you, huh?
And it's so crazy because between my mom and stepmom, they've been the two worst women in my life. Mom and stepmom, biological and stepmom, always been the two worst figures in my life. And only for me to turn around and be like, I need to treat women amazing. Because you know who I blame through that whole thing?
Pops. Common denominator.
I blame the common denominator. And if I can treat women great, with two women, not one, two women feeling the way that they do.
Yeah. I also wonder what role did your stepmom play in how you view the title of stepfather nowadays?
That's a very good point. That is a very good point.
It's what I'm here for, King.
Yeah. I got a question.
Talk to me.
You got any, I don't know, workshops or things to do for stepdads?
I actually love the conversation that you brought up. It's something that I've never thought of, but it's something that I feel like would resonate with a lot of families, stepfathers, moms, whoever. And I do think that's an audience that should have a specific thing for them, right? To help them express themselves, to help them identify how they are being treated and how they would like to change certain things. So no, I don't have a workshop catered to that, but that's something that I can think of and build on that. I am more than a stepfather. I am more than my title of stepfather.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I wonder if that's a workshop for the stepfathers or if that's a workshop for their female partners.
Both. I think it's important for when somebody's going through a workshop or this process that the other person views it.
Yeah.
Like doing work and having your partner view the work.
Be present and experience it with you, but I'm wondering who it's catered to the most, right? Because I don't even think that, well, I've never heard a stepfather bring up that conversation, and I wonder if it's because they're not experiencing it or they just don't have the vocabulary to express it. But I do think what blending a family together is something that needs to be highlighted more, and there needs to be more support around, because it's not easy to do. Right. If my wife were to no longer be here, God forbid, right, and I had to seek a replacement to help me raise those kids, right? Did you hear my semantics help me raise? Very task-based, right? Because at that time I'm thinking of, okay, can you be a mother to these children? Can you care for them, right? But I'm not thinking of, are you able to love them as your own? Are you able to build an independent relationship with them?
Are you able to be loved in this situation with me and my kids?
Yeah. And how do we even assess that? How do we even pay attention to that? Right? I'm thinking, okay, listen, I have to go to work. Are you able to pick them up? Are you able to drop them off? Are you able to feed them? Right? I'm not really thinking of, are you curating a safe space for them?
Right.
Can you show up for them?
Child 2 is going through something right now. They really need a mother to talk to.
Yeah. Need a person to talk to.
Yeah.
Right?
Not the child's going through something right now. Let me talk to her. Yeah. You trust me to talk to your child.
Can they feel comfortable talking to you? Can they even come to you? Or there are times where they're gonna prefer you over me. No, I don't want you. I want to talk to mom.
Exactly. And these are the moments, right? Those are the moments.
Mm-hmm.
Those are the moments where, it's more about babysitting and picking stuff and feeding. It's about, can this child come to me in a time of need?
Mm-hmm. Can they bypass you and come to me because they also feel safe with me? Or do they ask you, can you call my dad while you're here? All right.
Exactly.
Yeah, man. Maybe that's something that you should lead.
You're gonna stop giving me things to do. That's what you're gonna do.
Well,
I got workshops. I gotta go to the gym. I gotta go do family stuff. And I gotta lead other family.
Oh, because I don't have those things to also do, right? Right. And the reason why I'm saying that is because my title as a therapist does not give me more credibility than you in this space of being able to lead this conversation and be the one that's curating the healing that needs to take place for those individuals. I can support, I can assist, doesn't mean that I have to take the lead when to some degree you've been bestowed to do that. SAT words, it was my word of the day and I feel like I used it wrong, but we'll see.
Yeah, well, that's what I got.
How are you feeling right now?
I feel good. I feel good. I feel like we've had better conversations around me and this position that I'm in.
Mhm.
So yeah, I feel fine. I feel cool. I just always feel like there's more work to be done.
Yeah, that's the beauty of it. That's always the case.
Yeah.
That is always the case, buddy. Well, just to wrap things up, I just want to say that I'm very proud of you. We have been working together for a few months now, and you have been incredible. I am amazed at your growth, your mind. I really want to just study your mind. You know what I'm saying? Just hook you up to a few machines and see the activity that happens within your brain. That really excites me. Um, and I'm happy that you have the family that you've always wanted and that you're experiencing that now, and that you're a conduit to healing for others that may be going through the things that you have experienced in life. So I want to take this second to applaud you,
Yay.
Mr. Bad Bitch,
Mr. Savage.
Mr. Tank Top,
Crop top, baby. Crop tops.
Mr. I only wear sheer underwears, the one and only Orlando.
Yes, it is I. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
My pleasure. The homework remains the same because your self-care is very important to me and very important to you and very important to your family. As we pour into ourselves, we're able to show up for others and pour into them. So we're going to continue with the workouts, drinking water, taking your vitamins, going for your walks during the day so the sun can love you and kiss up on you.
Yeah.
All right. Questions, comments?
No, none so far.
Yeah. Who's your barber, man?
Shout out King.
Who's your barber, man? Yourself?
I've been enjoying my hair. I've been enjoying loving my hair and however it comes out of my skin.
No, I'm not talking about your hair. I'm talking about that shape up, man. What's up?
This is not a shape up. I haven't gotten a shape up. I've just been.
Okay.
I've been intentional about. I've been trying to grow my hair this year.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not trying to do too much cutting to it.
I get it.
Yeah, I'm growing it and just letting it be.
I'm cutting this.
All of it?
Yes. At the end of this year. Cutting everything. I'm going back to a dark season. Too much maintenance, man. I have too much going on in my life to be finding time to care for my hair. I don't got that time. So.
Yeah, this should take some fucking time.
Correct. I'm also cleaning out my closet where I'm gonna have 12 outfits only. So I know exactly what I have to wear and I don't have to spend too much time making decisions. I've been experiencing decision fatigue where you make too many decisions in one day that your brain get to the point where you can't make decisions no more. So I'd rather keep that energy and that focus for the decisions that matter. Clothing is not one of them.
We're gonna have to talk about that decision fatigue next time.
Decision fatigue. Yes, sir. It was a pleasure. Kiss Luna and Mila for me and continue to be the baddest bitch that you are.